So I'm launching the Visual Studio. Okay. So how to do a web app? Okay. So to do the web app, okay, I'm just going to the app services. Okay, no, let's go here. Quick start. I'm going to quickly create a Python, from web app based. So let's try this, small article. Okay. How to do. So if you don't have Visual Studio, okay, install the Visual Studio. While installation, you get this option. Okay, you should be choosing the ASP.NET and the development, and also Azure deployment. So this gives you ASM and ARM. Okay, both the things. Okay, and by the way, this is a community edition which you can install. Community edition is a free. Okay, so I did install the community edition if I'm correct. So I'll just go through my all these are something disconnect, disconnect, disconnect. Okay, so what I'm doing is now I'll just go to the file, new, okay, project. So this time I'm gonna create a project. Okay, if you look at here, not this actually. Let me close this. Yeah, if you look at this page, you are choosing the .NET based. If you are trying to create with a Node.js, PHP, Java, Python, all these are different things. Okay, the tutorial is the same. Okay, but but what you select within the .NET is important. Okay, so in my case, I'm choosing the .NET one. Since little bit .NET is familiar to us, we can easily create. Okay, so you have to choose a web and then ASP.NET framework. So I'm choosing web here, ASP.NET framework. Okay, I can give the web application name. Say example, I can say that this is um, okay. It's for me example, and I'm saving this in my uh, projects as example. Okay, solution name is for me example. Um, that's it. So now it will prompt what kind of thing you want to do it. So I can build MVC. MVC is a kind of project, okay, where you can do the ASP.NET applications. Okay, so that's what he says. If you go here, use MVC, no authentication should be there. Okay, then click OK. So I'm just selecting that. Okay, the reason I'm showing the URL is you can do the same practice later point, because this is into development side, so you may encounter some issues later point. Okay, so now I got a solution as I explained earlier. I'll try to explain again once again. This is a solution explorer. That means what of the code you have written, that would be packed as a solution here. Okay, this side, the navigation. This is the main coding area. This is the output area. Okay, so now in my program, okay, I have the code. That's the code is this. Okay, here somewhere in the content, this is the site content. Okay, like this, the code is there here example. Okay, for now, um, home example home page. So home page has about index. Okay, so these are all written here. Okay, in under code. Okay, so example, if I want to run this code, how it looks like. If I want to see, I can select the solution. I'll say just the not the rebuild. I would say just build. One second. uh, Solution, this one solution. Okay, uh, I want to run without doing without publishing actually. Okay, so under debug actually, I have an option to build without debug. Uh, if I if I build this solution, let me see, it should open the page. Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can refresh. We can go into the publishing mode basically later. Okay, let's see. What best I can do it is I can actually deploy this. Okay, so I can
Okay.
deploy this to Azure actually, but I don't want to deploy. I wanted to show before deploying how it looks like. That's the
Mm,
intention. Okay,
okay.
so okay, so uh, let's follow this article. Okay, that's the best way. So once you have done this, okay, what you can do is you can publish. Okay, so when you're trying to publish, actually it will ask for all those things. um,
Okay.
Before that, give me a second. I wanted to show you. Mhm. Where is that button?
Okay.
So this the option is which I was looking is you select the solution project. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
debug. Okay, without
Mm-hmm.
start without debugging. So that starts actually the web page. So whatever the code was written inside the solution,
Mm-hmm.
that will be available, visible. So example, if I go here index.vbhtml, it says that ASP is a free framework building great websites, right? So this is already ASP.NET is a free. So here I can say that I can change the code to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, say example, instead of ASP, I can make it as PHP example. Okay, so
Okay.
the code changes. Okay, so I can simply save
Mm-hmm.
this or the save all. Then if I debug again, uh, debug and run without debugging, so now my page should be earlier page was with the ASP.NET earlier.
ASP.
Now it should go
Mm-hmm.
for the PHP example. So the developer changes the code, okay, the way he wanted. Okay, so we can't
Okay.
code, but maybe we can do small changes here, okay, as the admin. But the developer, what he
Mm.
do is he will code it, in fact. Okay, so
Okay.
once the coding
Okay.
is done, assume that this is the proper solution is there now. Okay, you have the proper solution now. So what you'll do is you
Mm.
select this. Okay, you'll say deploy.
Mm. Okay.
So when
Good.
you're uh, deploying, okay, this,
Uh-huh.
what would happen is this solution would go to cloud. Okay,
Azure.
let's, yeah,
Mm.
so let's
Mm.
let's see the documentation. What it says is, if I'm correct, I was in this page, huh? This ASP, right? Yeah. So ASP.NET. So we followed all these. Okay. We changed a little bit, in fact, here. Now select your
Mm.
project and click on publish. So I'm just selecting my project. Okay, and say
Mm.
publish. So now I get a three button option. If I little bit, if I take this, I get a option
Mm.
now. So
Yeah.
you want to publish to your local IAS server. if you have IIS server, or you want a folder,
Mm-hmm.
or you want to publish to cloud. So I
Yes.
can choose as cloud. Okay. Okay, publish. Okay, now there is another window would come. Okay, if you remember last
Mm-hmm.
time in one of the class, we for the ARM templates, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
signed in here, right? That's why it is coming up here. So if you're the new user, what happens is you get here as new account. So you have to log into that account, your as your
Yes.
account. Once you signed up,
Mm.
okay, it will be populating this window. Similar. So
Yes.
this is your unique web app name. What is the web app name? I can't definitely use len 506 because it's already taken up, right? So I can
Mm-hmm.
use some random one. Say example, this time maybe I can use len 507. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and my
Okay.
subscription I can choose here. Okay, whatever the subscription. If you have more than one subscription, you're free to select it. Okay, and now this is the resource groups you have, whatever the resource groups you have, all are populating. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't want this, okay, you want to create a new one, you can always create a new one. Say example, this time I'll say, hey, let's create len 507, len 507 as my
Okay.
rm example resource group. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
org example resource group meaningful name. Okay, so this group
Okay.
is getting created. See, okay, so a resource group will be created. Okay, now the
Okay.
service plan, as I said earlier, in your you can have one service plan for multiple websites, right? So that the cost
Mm-hmm.
can be shared. You
Yes.
remember, right, from the yesterday class. So now if you don't have, since we have a service plan here, it is coming up. Otherwise, you can choose your own, you can create a new button would come up. Okay, there you should be
Okay.
choosing a new service plan. So 507 is a app service plan. In which location
Mm-hmm.
you want. For example, I wanted West US 2 example. Okay, or maybe with a single core, or what cores you want. So based on that, pricing would go up. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
in my case I can choose maybe S1. Okay, this is going to cost me around 4,000 bucks. So
Yeah.
that means the first one, which is the earlier one, would charge 4,000. This one would charge
Mm-hmm.
4,000. 8,000 rupees I'm gonna pay,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Okay.
regardless of whether I use it or not.
Mm-hmm.
So S1, this is a plan. So create. So now, oh, I'm sorry, I couldn't show you that services. Services are other things that if you have any SQL services, all those you can configure this. We are gonna do one more practical on the same Visual Studio, because
Mm-hmm.
this is just a plain website, right?
Yes.
But developers may work with a website and a
Mm-hmm.
database. So now a
Okay.
situation maybe the next demo would be IAS at
Mm-hmm.
the cloud, as well as the SQL also at the cloud. Okay, how best we can integrate this? This is going to be the
Mm-hmm.
demo, next demo. So now what is doing is it is deploying, and you get the output here. Okay, so and once it is done, it will start the website. So now it is
Mm-hmm.
uploading. Basically, if you see, it compiles and then it uploads to the site.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I would go to my Azure portal and check
Mm-hmm.
if anything is coming up here under resource groups. So in fact, it started. In fact, website automatically started. It has published my code, whatever the code was written. Say in this case, PHP should come,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
Uh, Meantime, let me go to my resources. Then 507 resource group got created, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I got service plan as 507 service plan. This is my website, right?
Yes.
So my website, if I start from here, it's very similar. There's no difference, right? So I can
Mm-hmm.
start this website. So I got, my ASP got replaced to PHP, right?
Yes.
So we have not changed the, for your information, we have not changed the headline. Okay.
Yes.
This is also the same thing, it's still, loading. Oh, no, sorry, not this. Let's close these things. Yeah. This is 506. 507 we wanted. So page, yeah, this is the page. Okay, so the page was already modified, right? Clear kada?
Yes, yes. Uh,
Okay, now so that's into the web app, how to publish a simple web app. Okay, tomorrow if I do any changes, okay, to
mhm.
my site, say I can republish it the way I wanted. Example
Okay.
PHP. So I can simply save and I can republish it. Okay, the code.
Mhm.
Okay, now what I'll do is
Okay.
I'll close this project. Okay,
Mhm.
I'll take another project. Okay, altogether, this time with the SQL. So for your information, what we have done is we are almost ended with the web app. Okay,
Mhm.
we are slightly moving to the SQL server.
Okay.
Okay, so that
Yes.
is also in a SQL pass. We are trying to create a pass
Mhm.
site. Okay, so let's
Okay.
actually first do the, yeah, okay, we can try directly the web app with the SQL. Then I'll jump into the once again only dedicated to SQL. Okay,
Okay.
so first thing,
Okay.
this is also a demo available from Microsoft. Okay, use the
Mm.
SQL.NET project. Okay, so simple project. So
Okay.
if you look at here, this is how it looks like. Anybody can go and update their new task here. Say example, I want to buy some potatoes. Example, so and so date. This is my
Mm.
task. Like that, everybody can update. This is simple website. Okay, for to-do
Mm.
list.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the website we are going to develop now. Okay, so
Okay.
for that, again, you need a Visual Studio Community Edition. Okay, in
Mhm.
Community Edition, you can install ASP.NET as well as the Azure deployment. Okay, and then once you
Okay.
have done that, you download this sample. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is a project source code. Okay, since we are completely new, what we can do is we can go to the source code, extract the source code. It's a lengthy one, so what I'm doing is I'm trying to rename this to um,
Mhm. Dot.
is
Mm.
with GB example. Okay, so
Okay.
cut this, and I'm going to paste it my C drive example. Okay, so this is
Mhm.
the project. So I close my, if I'm not closed, okay, let me close it. So if you've closed it, okay, Visual Studio, to open this project, if somebody is developed, okay, you have an option to, SLN file. This is nothing but your solution explorer, okay, or the solution file. So this is your key, okay, to open in a Visual Studio. Okay, so example, even we did develop some applications. If you remember,
Mhm.
some projects we did, right? On the projects we did um, earlier, Len 505. These are the different projects we did. Somewhere we did even web
Mhm.
app one also, I think. Okay, like this, these are the projects. Okay, Swami has done it somewhere. Okay, I don't remember the exact, but yeah,
Last
here,
but one.
yeah. So this one is a solution. If you want to reopen the solution, I simply double click this so that I get that same project.
Okay.
Okay, later I can deploy it. Okay,
Mhm.
so in my case now the solution file is in C drive. Okay, with with yeah, IAS and SQL, right?
Mhm.
No, all right. Okay,
ISTP.
I don't remember so today's date. Yeah, ISDB. Okay, so this is the ISDB. So what I'll do is simply I'll double click this. So this gets opened. So it says that, hey, you're trying to open this source code not developed on your machine. Somebody has developed. Are you okay? Do you trust this? Yeah, I trust because I know what I'm trying to do. Click OK. Okay. So Now I have this solution. Since I got the solution from somewhere, there could be
mm,
possibilities that some absolute entries may exist in my solution. Okay, as a best
okay,
practice, what I can do is I can clean them. Okay,
mhm,
so if anything is there, it just cleans. Okay, so in fact, there's nothing in this because it is given by Microsoft. Say example, clean would useful if you're developing on 2017 version now, but the old version is 2015. Example, you are importing. There could be a possible to to upgrade as well as the during the upgrade you may have to go for clean.
okay,
Okay, as a developer, he knows that. Okay,
mm,
so acronym. Let's. This is the page. Okay, so we downloaded the source. Okay, now
mhm,
after that control phi, see, this is where it's there. Okay, so control phi is nothing but your debug start debug um, without debug. So that means locally it will run. How it looks like, let's see. So it starts my Chrome because that's my default web browser. Okay,
okay,
so it's opened. Okay, so it's opening on port 31894. Okay, I'm just closing other pages. So 31941 one page. So this is the app for to-do list. So somebody can update their to-do list.
okay,
That is what all about. So there's nothing, no entries now. So let's see, create new. Okay, I can say that. Hey, test one. Okay, example. So there's a hey test one is there. So I have to catch a bus. Example, catch a bus. Okay, example. Um, okay, go to lab. Example, or set up lab example. So these are my to-do list examples. So this is working fine, right? But if you remember, I've not yet configured anything in SQL, but still it is storing and it is able to view me because Visual Studio has something called, Visual Studio has a feature, a virtual SQL kind of thing, which stores these data altogether.
okay,
So just to run in the run environment, it will store and it will show you. Okay, that's fine. Okay,
okay,
just for the running purpose. Okay, if I rerun this again, the same solution, or if I republish, I may not get all this data. Okay, but it is just showing me, hey, this is what the data is there. Okay, now how do I publish this? So there are few things Microsoft asks us to modify. Okay,
mm,
let's go through that.
mm, okay,
So because they don't want to give us complete free one, little bit changes.
mm,
Now right click, publish. Okay, so when you're publishing, right, these steps. Now the publish, we talked about publish. So after this, if you're not signed in, it will ask to sign in, add account.
yes,
But in our case we have
mm,
already account. Then it will ask to fill the resource group and your subscription, your resource group, and then your app service plan, right? So we can
yes,
use that app services plan, but after that, don't click on create, which we did in the last step.
mm,
Don't click on create. Okay, instead what you do is go to the services. Okay, go to the
okay,
services.
mm,
Okay, here go to the services. This is app service plan altogether. Go to the services, here additional services which are, so here you would be adding your database. Okay,
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 and the database would be comes here. This is additional one which you want to deploy
mm,
into in your SQL Server. SQL Server
okay,
is getting deployed into Azure from your Visual Studio.
mm, mm,
Okay, there's no DBA, there's no guy. Okay,
okay,
so this is what the SQL configuration, which is talking about. The most
mm,
common mistake in this practical would be this step. Okay, so there's a connection string which is the database name. He has hard coded, not the database name in fact. Okay, but the connection string name is hard coded. Say example, my connection string name is connection string one. Okay, example. So this connection string one is hard coded as my DB connection. So it must be as it is. If not, your solution fails. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So after that, this is how it looks like. So y- if you are first time creating service plan, you will get 3. Okay. If not,
Mm-hmm.
you already have a service plan earlier. So when you are trying to go a little bit up, 1 second. So if you're trying to do it, okay, here instead of 2, uh, when you click on services, actually, uh, as a first step, what we have done is we fill this hosting. Later, for the SQL purpose, we clicked on this. Then we added this. Before adding
Mm-hmm.
this step, actually here there would be only one. Okay, so okay, here now 3 are there. Okay, sometimes you may see 2. So what are those? If you have already service plan is available, it will show you as this
Mm-hmm.
service plan is available. Okay, so here service plan is there and the database is getting added. This is your website example.
Yes.
Now what will happen is, of course, this is actually SQL database. Okay, this is
Mm-hmm.
SQL server. Okay, one
Mm-hmm.
SQL server have multiple databases. Am I correct?
Yes.
So multiple databases can have. So here you would see 3 of them. Okay, and later you create. Then this actually gets published to your cloud. Okay,
Oh,
clear? So let's try that.
yes.
Okay, so now as a first step, we right click and say publish, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now where do you want to publish? Yeah, I want to publish to Azure. So publish. So now if I have already signed up, okay, I get this. Okay, if not, I have to add here sign up, then your application name, your trial, and your resource group, your app service plan. So let's take my this name is to do list. Okay, if you see here, it is actually green checking is my do I have this name as a unique or not. It is trying to validate,
Okay.
right? So I'll give as a proper name, maybe nobody has. Okay, to-do list land 506, this is right, yeah. So I can give this so that nobody will have, right?
Mm.
So this name. Okay, now the free trial, my resource group is, I think, len 507. Okay, so
Okay.
let's put this also 507 so that while doing delete all those things, it's easy. So I have here 2 service plans. So which one you want to use? So the one which we created is the first one was the South Central, that is 506 one. 507 was created in West US. So let's take West US because these 2 are from the West US, right?
Mm-hmm.
So say don't click on create. Okay, so go for services or add additional. You click either here or here. Okay,
Okay.
so I like to go here. Okay, so now I don't have here anything, in fact, here, right, at this point of time. So I should get here 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I go here,
Okay.
okay, if I go here and click here, what happened? It is taken here, the same step, right? So I went
Mm-hmm.
here, click here, additional. So this is nothing but this. So here I'm trying to add my SQL Server. So as I said, first what you're trying to do is you're trying to create SQL Server. After that, there is a database you're creating. Okay,
Okay.
here data connection is my data connection, which you may, when you're trying to do the practical, you may do something wrong here. Okay, so be careful, this step. Okay, this
Okay.
is not default. Wanted Microsoft gave. Okay, so here I'm giving as a new SQL Server. So I don't have any SQL Server, so I'm giving a to-do list SQL Server, or maybe len 507 is my
Mm-hmm.
SQL Server. Okay, what's the user ID and password you want? So I'm giving, is it uh, Azure admin? I think, yeah, I can give this. So the password which I want to give. Okay, now what is the database you want to create? So I want to create len 507 to-do list.
Mm-hmm.
or maybe I can give very simply uh, to-do list app. After that, don't click on OK. Make sure
Mm.
that you change this. Okay,
Okay.
let's go to the documentation. So in the code, it was hard coded. So we did all these, right? We did SQL Server, we gave the password, right? Connection string.
Mm.
So make sure that my DB connection. So this is what my DB. If you change, okay, if you want to change this name, you can go to the models and my database context.cs file. So where is that cs file? In the solution. Okay, in the solution
Mm.
you have to double click and edit that file.
Okay.
Okay, if in case if you do uh, the wrong one, so give that option. So I'm just taking it as it is. Okay,
Oh. Mm.
connection string is this. Okay, click OK now. Now what happened? I
Mm.
got two. Okay, so but in the article it was showing three, right? But here you only
Mm.
got two because in the article they also explained service plan as a new. Okay, in our
Mm.
case app service plan we are talking about. Okay, in our case we have
Yes.
already app service plan, so we are utilizing that. So that's why I got
Mm.
only two. No need
Two.
to worry.
Okay.
Okay, so after that nothing actually, you're about to create it actually. Okay, so here you got three because one is app service plan, which I said this is if you're creating as a new, you will get it here in other way. So since I have already, I'm not going to get that, right?
Okay.
So create, so this would create me database server,
Mm.
and then a DB, then my application, and this application have a backend database connection, right? With
Mm.
models dot here this name models file has this connection string. So by using that connection string, the web page will open like this. Okay, that's a plan. So let's
Okay.
create. Before creating, let me show you, what is there in the SQL. Okay, so if I go to the, I'm talking about platform as a service admin now. Okay,
Yes.
pass. So I should go to my SQL service, which is my databases. So if I click databases, I don't have here anything, right?
Mm.
Soon I create that. I would get here my server name, that is SQL server name. Later point, I get my databases.
Okay.
Okay, let me create it. So what is your server name? SQL server name would be len507, right? And the database name is to-do list app.
Mm.
అన్న అర్థమవుతుంది కదా? If you see here
Mm.
4 or 5 got deploying. Let's open up my resource groups. So nothing came here. If we go to my resource groups, len507 RG,
Mm.
it's actually creating my 507 to-do list app. It got created. If you're in hurry and try to open this, it will show you a default web page. Say example, I'm very hurry. Okay, it's not even
Mm.
populated this. So if it is populated, okay, example, it is populated. See, you'll get a different website, not your actual code. See, this is not your
Okay.
code. This is not your
Mm.
code, right? So the reason is it is still not yet published. So now it is publishing. Okay, it is now publishing
Mm.
this code. So it got published. Now it's opening also the same website automatically. Okay,
Mm.
now you may get it the to-do list application. Okay, in meantime, we'll go to here and refresh the database to see
Mm.
have a database server.
Yes.
Hmm? So if I click on this database, I get more information. Here, if you notice here, the server name is this, what we have created. Okay,
Mm.
and my application, my database name is, my server name is this. Okay, this is my database name, in fact. Okay, uh, I don't want to talk more. I don't want to talk now more on the database side. Let's talk on the application. Then we'll come to the SQL Server.
Okay.
LAN 507. Yeah, now you have a app ready,
Mm.
right?
Yes.
My to-do list. So example, if I add uh, go home example, this is my to-do list. Okay, if you open this website maybe in your somewhere in your computer and open to-do list LAN 507 as your website, or let me chart send you in a chart. Okay, this website. So whatever I'm updating here, go home, also will be available for you. Okay, you can create some more, maybe go for
Oh.
okay, go to party example. Okay, example, take kids out. Okay, maybe I want to this to be scheduled to a different date, so I get date changing. Say example, I'm able to change, and maybe the month would be 12th month. Since I have a Christmas holiday, I can go for
Mm.
to-do list on 2017th on December month. Okay, so you can also give it a try. So this app is now published, right?
Mm. Yes.
So this is
Mm.
storing.
Mm.
Okay, so if you are so now the database is in cloud,
Mm.
right? So let's see how to connect it. Okay, so here the show connection string is there. If I put this connection string, okay, I can connect with ADO connect. Okay, ODBC connection is this, PHP connection is this. Okay, in my code, if I use this, I can connect it.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
uh, there is something which I want to show you in this class. Uh, come on. Docs. Let's do this. There is something that can be queried directly from the console right away from here. I'm just looking for that. Um, okay, that's fine. Okay, database masking. What is that? Okay, no, this. There's a thread related. I'll talk on all these later. So there's nothing. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now let me connect with my SQL server to Cloud SQL Server from my local machine. How do you connect normally, Anna, to SQL Server?
Local machine. I mean,
Local machine ಎಲ್ಲ connect అవుతావు normally?
ಈಗ SQL ಇದಂತದೆ ನಮ್ಮ
Studio management, right?
ಕಾನ್ಫಿಗರೇಷನ್.
So let's I do have, I think, SQL Studio Management. This is one. Okay. So I'm just starting my SQL Studio Management to see whatever the data we entering. Okay. Here example, whatever you or me entered. Okay. No, you entered చేయలేదైతే. Okay. So this should be visible in my Studio Management, right? So
ಓಪನ್.
yeah. So here the server name I should enter. Okay. What is the server name? This is my
ಲರ್ನ್.
LAN 507, right? So just this server name. I'm just copying. Okay. Example. Okay. What is the user ID? So user ID is Azure admin. Okay. So I'm saying, remember, so it gets connected. The password is wrong. Okay. Give me a second. Hmm. Okay. The password is correct now this time. So I'm able to log in. If you see, there is a blue database icon, right?
Mm.
If you're getting that, that means it's a cloud database.
Okay.
Okay, so now I have a database. This is my database. Okay, I can see my tables. Okay, I can query to my
Mm.
tables. Say example, in to-do list, select top maybe 100 rows and show me, what is the data it is there. Okay, so go home, go to party, take kids to this date. So it's there, right? So whatever I'm adding, okay, I'm able to see in the database. Getting
Mm-hmm.
me?
Yes.
So what we have done is we actually created from Visual Studio, sorry, not this icon, from Visual Studio application along with that SQL
Publishing.
Server. Okay, and in a SQL Server we created a DB, right? If you want, one more DB, you can always create if you have a permission. New database, this database gets created in the cloud now.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, so little bit slow at this point of time because you're talking about the cloud. Okay, let's leave this. Okay, the creation part from here. Let's do it from